Alright guys, welcome back. Central Florida Prepper here. Today we're going to be talking about robots. The robot apocalypse. No, we're actually going to be discussing the security robots that have been popping up everywhere. There's been some new news feeds on these little RTD2 looking things. They actually look like a trash can with a torpedo head. But anyway, they are supposedly going to be replacing normal human security guards. They roll around. Now there's different types that they have. They've got the ones that are, looks like they're on track wheels, and they're working on a vehicle design and off-road vehicle security systems, and this thing rides around. Now, this first story is from the Orlando Weekly. Is actually a little bit old, but I want to bring it back into this for a specific reason. Alright, let me go ahead and pull this up. This is again Orlando Weekly. A Florida neighborhood is now testing autonomous security robots. This was October 6, 2017. Because we truly are living in a dystopian future, a Silicon Valley firm is now testing autonomous security robots in Florida, according to WTSP. The tech company Nightscope has partnered with the Pasco County Sheriff's Office and the Metro Development Group to test one of their 400-pound, 6-foot-tall K5 security robot in Union Park for the trial area. Alright, now everybody thinks, okay, let me show you a little picture up here of the robot itself. Alright, a little trash can looking thing. It's got, I believe it's 4 cameras on it. Alright, well, you know, it's just to keep honest people honest. It's just going to be riding around filming. Let me go over what this thing is actually doing. Further in the report, basically the robot can't apprehend anyone. Alright, so no one's being arrested by a robot yet. But it acts like a security Roomba, or little vacuum cleaners that bounce around. You know, they learn their paths. Alright, it will be recording audio and video, scanning license plates, and also identifying smartphones' IP addresses. Yeah. Now, does anybody else see the breach of privacy here? They're putting these things in parks. They're putting these things in malls. They're putting these things in other businesses, property, places where people go. Alright, they're talking, I mean, I'll show photos later where they're actually putting them in sports centers, things like that. And you got something riding around, identifying who you are, recording your audio, recording you on video. We already heard about facial recognition. I did a story long ago when I first started this channel about the facial recognition cameras they have set up in downtown Orlando. Alright, they're scanning license plates and identifying smartphone IP addresses. Why? If you haven't broken any laws, why are they identifying who you are? You know, as of right now, there's many cities and stuff where they have it, is you have a right that you don't have to present identification as long as you're not being charged with a crime and being detained. Alright, it is not illegal in some states, some, not all, in some states, that when you are asked for your identification, unless you're being charged and detained with a criminal charge, you don't have to give up your identity because you haven't broken a law. Now, if you've broken a law and they are arresting you, yes, you're supposed to give up your information of who you are, because they're going to get it one way or the other. But it's part of our privacy that you're not doing anything wrong. You have that right to not notify everybody who you are. That is your right as an individual. Okay, let me scroll down here. We feel like this is one of the best ways to fight crime, just to just to detour misconduct. Just with his presence alone, I feel like we are making a statement, said Metro Development Group Representative Gene Austin to WTSP. If this robot looks familiar, it's because it is indeed the same model that committed suicide in Washington's fountain last July. Isn't technology grand? Yeah, I'll flip a couple more pictures up there for you about this robot that took a dive in the fountain. It was obviously still working on its routing recording path, like the Roomba vacuum cleaners that we see, little sweepers. And it decided to just drive right off into the fountain because there was no barrier right there where the steps are, and it just went on in. Alright. Now again, they've got multiple models of this thing. Alright. I've seen the car one. Well, it looks like a car. I think that's still a prototype right now. And then they got the tower. It looks like a tower sitting there. I think that is a stationary one. And then they got the Roomba versions riding around. Alright, let me go and pull up this other report here for you. This was off of sciencealert.com. There was actually a couple more. I believe one was from, this is actually pulled from Futurism, October 10th, 2019, but Science Alert had pulled it up. Put it right here. Police robot on patrol completely ignores woman trying to summon the police. Those Nightscope security robots may not be doing such a great job. When a woman in a park near Los Angeles saw people fighting and tried to summon help via the police robot, this thing's marked up, got police road on it and everything else. Patrolling nearby, the robot merely told her, "Step out of the way," and continued along his predetermined route, according to NBC News. No help came until the spectators called 911 directly, raising the question of what, if any, function these robots are actually supposed to serve. It turns out that the robot, a K5 model named HP Robocop, drop it, patrols the park on behalf of the police department, but does not have any way of summoning human officers to the scene. Huntington Park Police Chief Cosmo Lozano told NBC. Instead, he said, "Calls go to Nightscope, and we will continue to do so until the police department develops protocols for handling calls made through the police bot." Now, I also read other reports during this incident. The individual that was trying to contact police by the police robot had gotten in front of it, was mashing buttons. I guess it's got a call button that you're supposed to be able to make contact and report a crime. Nothing, she said all it was making a ringing noise, so she thought maybe she had to get right in front of the camera and get a facial recognition or something like that, and then that's when it told her to move out of his way. They did not at the time have this hooked up where it directly goes to law enforcement, but instead it's still riding around collecting information on people: video, audio, smartphone, IP addresses. Yeah. Now, I get people, "Dude, I'm not breaking any laws, I'm not doing anything wrong." I have no problem with it. I got a problem with it. I've got a huge problem with this. It is recording your habits. It is recording the locations that you go visit. It is making databases of who you are, what you do, what you say. Now, let's say that you are having a conversation with somebody and this thing is picking it up. Alright, we already know if you look at certain things on the internet, you get a flag popped up, and if you get too many of them, you're going to be having some guys in black suits knock on your door to see exactly who you are. Now, you're sitting there in a conversation talking about whatever. It could be anything. And this thing's recording. Well, upon review, let's say that you were talking about something you weren't supposed to. Let's say times change. I mean, we're seeing a lot with the political world on what they are trying to make now illegal to say, just like it is illegal to use the word, the phrase illegal immigrant in a derogatory way. I believe it is in New York City. You get fined like $120,000, or maybe it's $2,500,000, just because this robot picked it up. You might not even be talking to somebody directly. You could be talking to somebody on the phone, and it picks it up. What are they gonna do? Mail you a ticket? They got your face. Facial recognition is being used all over the country. Alright, so with that, those are those reports. I do want to go ahead and pull up some pictures and video for you guys of this thing rolling around. I don't know. I mean, just the fact that they're openly surveilling and they keep going on was to protect people. But then it goes into to prevent possible crimes. No, it's collecting information on everybody. Alright, so we do have some photos and videos of this thing riding around using this pre-planned track on the walkways and stuff. Now, I don't know if it has sensors on it that identifies what's a walkway and what's not, and that's what's riding around. I don't know. I'm not a very tech-smart individual. Obviously, it might have some type of AI system in it to identify what is grass and what is not, so it actually stays on a path. But yeah, I mean, these things, I know they look all futuristic and cool and everything. But yeah, guys, I don't want this thing nowhere near me. All right, I mean, they got it in the Westfield Malls, Houston Methodist Hospital. They got it in Pechanga Resort and Casino. That's the tower system looking one. Yeah, that's stationary. That is not rolling around. Of course, there's the Expo Logistics where they were showing that off. Citizen Bank. That is just like New York. Cox Enterprise. Dignity Health. City of Hayward. Sacramento Kings. Yeah, there's the sporting events. We've got... this thing is all over the place. Now this is looks like the K5, the first prototype one that they had. Like I said, they do have the future projections, the future products they're working on. The K7 multi-terrain machine is under development. I believe that is the vehicle looking one. Looks like a miniature... looks like a oversized RC radio-controlled vehicle, but it's not radio-controlled. And then there's a 4th generation K5 outdoor machine. This thing's got bigger wheels. It looks like it's got more wheels, so it can go a little bit more off-roading. But it says that it's completing final testing and due to roll out in 2019. Now, maybe it's just because I follow and get deep into the truther movement. I see things differently than other people. I could be completely way off base. I don't think I am. Alright. I just talked about the DNA websites and all that stuff where people are sending in DNA to find out their ancestral heritage, DNA by that. And then if you watch like IDTV or just watch the news, you'll see where they're chasing down cold cases and all this stuff. You know, and there's nothing wrong with chasing down cold cases and finding justice for victims that was never able to get justice for. But they're accessing these databases, these DNA databases, without these people's permission. And also, what is very interesting, I've seen where people have committed crimes and they've accessed the DNA database, and then they find a similarity in somebody else's sister or cousin that has actually done the database, and because it hit certain markers, they went to go contact them, and then they found out their family tree of who their siblings are, and then they finally tracked down who actually committed the crime, which I am all for them tracking down a crime, of course, especially the murders and stuff like that. Yeah, that's horrible stuff. I'm glad that they do that, but I don't like how they're doing it. That is the issue that I have. It's complete invasion of privacy. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop there on that. I do want to address a couple things right fast. My buddy Prescott Caliber Club, and I'll pop up his card there. Guys, that's been here for a while. He has, you already know who he is. He went ahead and released his video for the fire starting kits. He did a review for me. He is the one that's going to be carrying that product on his website. I am mailing those to him tomorrow. So it'll take a couple days to get there and get all set up and everything else. So hopefully by the end of next week or so, those will be on market. Also want to thank Marfugo TV, Adam. I do appreciate the shout outs that you have done for the channel here. The support that I've gotten from you, Dex, the Moz, Marfugo family. You guys have really made a huge difference in my channel. It makes it so that I have to really step up my game, which I'm fine with. Okay, I try to do everything to the best of my abilities, but I'm always looking for newer things to try to improve on. So yeah, thank you all for coming over last night and the times prior. I've had multiple shout outs from Adam there at Marfugo TV, so I'm very thankful for. I did get to, I mentioned this the other day, that I got to meet some Fugo fam, but I wasn't revealing anything. But since Dex and Adam did reveal it last night, I did get to meet Dex and Lexi and JStone78. I got to bring my wife along. We all got to hang out for a while. I got to talk to Adam on the phone for a good while. We were discussing all kind of different things. I'm not going to go into detail on what we were talking about, but except that he's very supportive, very very kind, generous man. So the things that he's been going through with everything else, that stuff's unfounded. Guys, he's a very great guy. I joke around with a lot of stuff on my videos and things like that. I'm very serious about. He's a genuine individual. I got a lot of respect for him, the whole Marfugo team, and of course every single one of those Marfugo family members. Hey, we all stick together, and y'all have shown me a lot of support here, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. For my longtime subscribers, I am still working on answering a lot of those emails. I do apologize, and like I said, I really do try to answer every email I get. I try to get to those comments as on a timely fashion. Sometimes I got some things going on here at the house, but even if you just get a thumbs up and the little heart icon clicked on your comment, it's me letting you know I did see your comment and I did read it. Now, I might not have been able to respond right then, because sometimes I get questions that I have to go research up and get back to. So just be patient with me on that. So anyway, guys, y'all take care. And again, I appreciate every single one of y'all, and I'll speak to y'all later.